it's Kelly here again, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed building video. So this week we are creating a starter home, and it is a modern starter cube. It is named the Oddie starter cube, and I didn't want it to just leave the name as starter cube for obvious reasons, but I wanted to have something more recognizable, so I named it Oddie. And Oddie actually comes from the name Odd because I felt like it was a bit odd. If I'm being completely honest, it was really just odd. You know, the front of the house kind of looks like a person or like a face or something, and I thought it was so cute, but at the same time it was really weird, so that's why I named the house Oddie. So it is Oddie's starter cube, and it is available on the gallery, on the Sims 4 gallery. You can download it, you can play with it. It is a starter home. As I said, it is around 7,900 simoleons without the lot. So even with the lot, it is still a starter home and under 20,000. So you can have your Sims move in immediately. Yeah, I only use base game items and get together, I think. Yeah, get together items. So it only use get together, you know, and base game items. So even if you don't have a lot of packs, I think you can still use it. And I wasn't initially going to use only those, but it just sort of happened. I definitely wanted to use less, and at some point I just realized that I only used the get together packs. So yeah, you can definitely download it. Do comment down below if you like the house. I did reference the front of the house from a image that I'm going to put somewhere here on the screen, and all the rest, you know, I kind of made up on my own. And yeah, so what I'm going to be doing with my speed builds from now on, I think I'm going to be you know, talking, especially in the longer videos, I'm going to be going into a kind of a a story time. So I am going to be talking and basically saying everything that's important about the house, and then I'm going to go into some experiences or stories or fun times or something, just stuff from my life. And yeah, I think it will kind of make things a bit more interesting to watch, because you can see already what is going on the screen. You don't need me to narrate like I am building a wall here, I am putting green there. I don't think that's very interesting, so I will be sharing some experiences and some fun stories and some not so fun stories like today. So today I think I'm going to be talking about some weird or crappy party experiences, because it's almost Christmas and New Year's. It's definitely the party season, and I felt like this would be an appropriate topic to talk about, I guess, maybe. So today I will be talking about a really just nasty person and my experience at their party and their girlfriend's birthday party. So I had this friend, well, friend is kind of an overstatement. I had this acquaintance, and we used to go to art classes together. That's where I met her. She's a bit older than me. At the time, I think I was 21, 22. She was 25, 26. And we used to go to art classes together. And I was never really close with her. I always found it very difficult to communicate with her. She was a bit of an oddball. A bit of an oddie, I guess. She was a bit of an oddball, and she was she was very hard to talk to, as you know, as a person, and I had not much in common with her. Some other girls from the art class were definitely closer to her, but I wanted to be nice. I didn't want to offend her or anything, so we hung out with the other girls from the art class as well, and her. And at one point, right before graduation, this was I was in 12th grade. She was older, as I said, but right before graduation, I hang out with her and one other girl from our art class. And at this point, she, you know, the girl that I was talking about, that I had not much to talk with. Okay, I'm gonna give her a name because this is gonna get weird. Let's call her you know what? Let's call her Oddie, because we are building Oddie's starter home, so let's call her Oddie. So Oddie brought her boyfriend on one of our meets with our other friend, and it was just the three of us and her boyfriend. And her boyfriend was a very, very unpleasant man. He was older than us. He was 30 something. He was, I think, 32, so that's 10 years older than me at the time. And he was just very, very unpleasant to be around, and I found him very annoying and very obnoxious. And I didn't say anything naturally. I just kind of smiled and kept my tongue behind my teeth. But he's one of those people. He's kind of he's not exactly a skinhead, but definitely wants to be. And he had tattoos all on his body. He had swastikas on his arm, tattooed on his arm. He drank 2 liters of beer just as we were sitting there, you know, the 3 girls and him. And we were there for like an hour and a half, and he drank 2 liters of beer. He went and bought another bottle, which he had finished halfway through by the time we got to my bus stop, because they walked me to my bus stop. So he drank about 3.5 liters of beer just for like 2 hours, and he didn't stop talking. He was just babbling on about politics and things that nobody cares about, and certainly not us three girls. He was talking, and he just did not let anyone speak from us girls. He just didn't let anyone speak. As soon as somebody says something, he just absolutely he starts talking over you. He doesn't let you finish, and he talks about something completely different. Or if he doesn't even acknowledge your topic, and even if he does acknowledge your topic, he would just say stop talking bullshit or something like that, and he would go into his own. He was just very, very rude, and just not a great person to be around. And so he made a very bad first impression on me, and I thought, okay, that's fine, I'm not gonna see him ever again. It's completely fine. And this was somewhere around, I guess, spring into summer, and my friend Oddie, she had a birthday somewhere around October or November, and right before that we met up on a bus stop, I think, and it turned out that we were going to the same university. So we were going to be colleagues in university, and she proposed that we meet up and we talk. We talk more, because we're going to be each other's only friend when we go into university. And I was like, okay, that's fine, that's okay. And we met up once, and then she invited me to her birthday, which was, I guess, in the week after we met up for the second time. So she invited me to her birthday, and I really, really did not want to go, just because I knew that it was going to be a house party, and it was going to be very far away from my home. Because actually it's not that far away, but it's 20 minutes with a car, which I don't have, so I had to rely on her to drive me up there and down back to my apartment. And it's not the problem that it had to be with a car. The problem is that there was no public transport to her house from my apartment, because she lived in the mountains. She lived in a very cool modern house in the mountains, and it's not that far away from me, but it's definitely challenging for me to get there and get back, of course. So I really did not want to go, because I knew there was going to be a lot of people there that I'm not going to know any of the people. I am not a social person. I find it very difficult to find topics to talk about, especially with people who kind of don't want to talk to me. That's even harder for me. And I knew her boyfriend was going to be there, and I knew that I would know absolutely nobody from her party. And I tried my very, very best to let her down easy and to tell her that I'm not going to be able to make it. So at first I tried with having plans. She tried making the party another day just for me, which made me feel so uncomfortable. And I said, you know, that's fine. I'm gonna push my other plans. Then I said that I actually have work with my mom. She said that I could come later, and I was like, I don't know if I'll make it. She's like, the party's gonna go on for a whole night, so you definitely have to make it. And then I tried saying I was sick and I was not feeling well, which again did not work, because at some point Oddie got into her car, drove to my place, and honked her horn down on my apartment until I got down from my apartment. And when I went down there, thank God I got her a present, by the way, because when I got there, I just wanted to give her the present. I told her I'm not feeling well. I wanted to stay home. She was like, I'm not leaving until you get into my car. And I said, this is not right. You realize that I don't feel well and I want to stay home. And she said, I don't care. This is my birthday party and you're coming with me. And we exchanged some sentences after that. I don't remember, because this was like 7 years ago. No, not 7. It was like 5 years ago. What am I talking about? It was exactly 5 years ago. Okay, so that means I was 19. I wasn't even 20. I was 19. And we exchanged some sentences. Eventually, I got into her car. Frankly, I don't think I have much of a choice, but I got into her car and we drove up to her house, and I immediately realized that I am not going to fit into this party and this crowd. There were like 10 people at the time. At the end of the party, there were like 20 people, 25 people, and the youngest person was my friend at the time, Oddie, and she was 25 or 6. I was like 19, her boyfriend was 32, and everyone else was either around 28 or above 30. And everyone was so drunk. They were so heavily drunk, and some of them were so obviously on some kind of substances. I'm not even going to get into that, but they were acting so weird, and naturally I did not want to talk to anyone, but I tried to find at least one person who I can talk with, and I found this one girl. She seemed very not in her place, just as much as I wasn't, so I tried getting to know her. We kind of stuck together. We ended up grabbing a cab afterwards, but yeah, we definitely, both of us had a very crappy experience because she didn't know anyone else in there as well. And when I sat there for like an hour, maybe 2, and then I decided that I want to go home because, you know, I paid my respects to the birthday girl. I was there and I enjoyed her company, her friends. I gave her a birthday gift. I thought that it was time for me to go. And just by the way, the drinking age in Bulgaria is 18, not 21. So I was allowed to drink. Just wanted to mention that. But yeah, I said I wanted to go, and she said, okay, fine. And then she disappeared. And she disappeared for like an hour. And in that hour, I was sitting there alone with all of her drunk and drugged up friends, 2 of which were making out in the middle of the kitchen, and they were so drunk they fell over and broke the table, broke an entire heavy iron plus glass table, and glass spat everywhere, all on the floor, and it was a nightmare. I was just sitting on the side just wishing I was anywhere else but not where I was. And my friend eventually showed up. She started cleaning up the table. I said to her boyfriend that I'm going to leave and I want the address of the house so I can order a cab. I can order a taxi because I didn't know where I was. I had no idea what address this was. So I asked him to give me the address. He said he's not going to let me leave. I said, what? and he literally snatched my stuff, my handbag and my coat from my hands. He put them in her bedroom, in Audie's bedroom, and he locked the door with a key. And you know, everything was with a smile. He was joking. He was like, nah, you haven't had fun enough. Go back inside, drink some more, and then we'll talk. And he refused to give me my stuff and refused to let me leave. And at this point, I felt even more uncomfortable, if that was even possible. And I tried to find Oddie, who was cleaning the disaster in the other room, and I told her, look, your boyfriend took my stuff. I want my stuff back and I want to leave now. And she said, okay, fine, just hang on, I'll get you the address, because apparently she didn't know it, because she just moved into the house. She didn't know her own address. And she disappeared for another 40 minutes. I have no idea what she was doing. Was she Googling it or something? I have no idea, but she disappeared for almost an hour. And in those 40 minutes, I was sitting there in the glass with her boyfriend next to me, forcing me to drink vodka out of a bottle. It was horrible. And I'm 19, he's 30 something. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's all in tattoos, he's very scary. He's got his head shaved off, he's got chains and a knife dangling from his pants, and I felt like I had no choice but to drink that vodka and just keep him quiet. And at some point, my friend Oddie came downstairs, because she was somewhere upstairs. She came downstairs. She handed me a piece of note with the address scribbled on it, and she said, this is the address. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then she unlocked the room. She gave me my stuff back. I called a cab. I got this other girl that I talked about in the beginning. I got this other girl. We got into a cab. We got home, and I never spoke to Oddie ever again. And she doesn't even realize what happened and why it happened the way that it did. She thinks that I exchanged her as a friend for the other people that I met in college, that I kind of replaced her. But I was still trying to be nice. I was greeting her when we were in lectures. I was trying to be nice, and at some point she dropped out, and I think she blamed me or something, because I don't know, because I stopped being her friend. I have no idea. She dropped out. She deleted me from Facebook, and honestly, thank goodness. I am so sorry that this sounds mean, but good riddance. I want no people like that in my life. So yeah, that's my story time. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It is almost over now. Comment down below what you think of the build or my story. Like it if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next video. So bye bye.